doing a run to the trophy for the Yharnam Pthumerian Queen. So this is the first part of the run. So not covering the items specifically to the that you need for each chalice, but I'll just be running through the chalices themselves, just so you can get an idea of the path that you'll take. Because I've helped a lot of people on this run. I've helped a lot of people just in general make their way through these chalices to the Queen. So just going to do a run and do a little bit of commentary as I go through them to give you an idea of what the chalice dungeons look like and what the path to the Queen is. So the first chalice that you'll need to run through on this one is the Pthumerian Chalice. This is a necessary chalice towards your path to get the trophy. So in this one, part one, we'll just be running through the Pthumerian Chalice, and part two, we'll be doing the Central Pthumerian Chalice dungeon. So I already have this one here. You'll see that you don't have the ritual blood, but at a point in the game, you do have the opportunity to purchase all of your ritual items. So I can just go here and just purchase ritual blood. So I just need 2 of those for 5,000 blood echoes. So purchase both of those and head over to my empty chalice, and I can create it this way. So you can either create it, share the fixed dungeon, or if you already have created the chalice dungeon, you can just do a chalice dungeon search for the standard Pthumerian and bring it up, chalice dungeon search, and that will bring up the chalice dungeon that way. Well, actually, let me go back. I did lie. You take off the depth, a standard chalice, you can search, and you'll be able to run Pthumerian that way. So you'll see plenty of Pthumerian chalice, but I'm going to go ahead and make it for this one. So Pthumerian chalice, I'm going to go ahead and make it, share fixed dungeon, conduct the ritual, and boom, there it is. Just so you know, this character that I'm working on, this is a very, very high-level character for the chalice dungeons. Just keep in mind that any run that you have through the chalice dungeon, typically you're more than likely going to run through them at a lower level chalice dungeon, and it looks like it's really super easy because it is at this level. So just give you an idea of what my character is and what I'm using. This is a strength character, skill character, so I can use any of the weapons, but just to give you an idea of what it looks like. So go ahead and jump into the chalice. One thing that's nice about Bloodborne, if you're getting into it now, the load times are significantly shorter than they've ever been. If you get the game and you don't do any of the patches, any of the updates, you'll end up with the old load times, no text in between, and just the title screen, Bloodborne. And so just give you an idea of kind of what that looks like. Give you a little bit to read through. Items, just so you can see what these are. So have Bradar's testimony. I had the curse Canehurst armor, just for the hell of it. Yarho Ghoul black gloves, and then Gascon trousers. So not really doing much Fashionborn, but just this is what I had on the last time. So come into the chalice, you can hit the lamp. There's always a lamp. Typically once you run into these chalices, these first couple, what you'll notice is a couple things. So on this left side you got 2 rats. I'm gonna go ahead and kill everything as we run through. Everything in here will more than likely be a one-hit kill for this character. But I'm going to run through and kill everything and show you where everything is. Most chalices have a standard kind of setup and a standard kind of outlook. So this is the boss gate. We'll be working towards the latch or the lever so that we can open the boss gate. So I'm just going to jump back down here. Most of these shared fixes are going to be a standard loadout. You'll see these Pthumerian guys running around. That guy missed me, so I'm just going to run right past him. And the reason why I'm going to clear everything is so that you can see where items are in here. So we have a blood vial plus 2 over here. Nothing else really down here to really mess with or muck around with. Make your way back up to this. You'll see down there, see that sheen on this water here. So this is flammable, so once that fire hits it, it creates a splash damage. This guy's always going to hit you coming off of there, so just be mindful of that guy. Have these swinging things. There's always a space. Sometimes it's hard to see where it is. I almost got knocked off of that. So that red guy, so that lets me know that there is a bell ringer in here, and she's ringing these guys. So always look around and kind of get a sense where she is. There she is right there. So we're going to go and get this bell ringer out the way. We will summon enemies in infinitum until you kill her, and she usually drops bullets. Take a quick look around the room to see if anyone else in here. Have this guy. So we found the leader. Okay, now this is ridiculous. Alright, so let's heal up and get back over here. I didn't see this guy in the corner. That guy. And I didn't see that guy. See this mist in here? It's usually hiding some enemies in here in the corner, so you kind of have to watch out for those guys. I did not see them when I walked in here. Usually this big guy usually drops, oh nice, you dropped 2 ritual blood, that'll work. So open the gate, and make your way back down. I thought I saw an enemy roaming, I did, so let's kill him. Hit, boom, good to go. And now we can make our way back out here. We'll go ahead and jump down to explore this bottom area. Usually there's rats in here, guys that are kind of feigning like they're dead. I don't see anything in here. Make sure to hit that boxes, Molotov in here. That guy. Take care of him. They usually drop something. So a bloodstone shard, definitely something worth grabbing. These rooms usually have guys that fall down, like the little oil guys or whatever, that fall on your body and cover you up. Nothing in here, so I'm gonna go back down here, explore this other area. So most of the dungeons will have a front area that holds a item of some kind. And it's usually in a treasure chest or something. So I'm gonna come in here. So we got this room, got some quicksilver bullets over here, 3 shining coins, more quicksilver bullets, maxed out, so I can't pick that back up. Blood vial there. I'm always cautious of these little wagons that are in these rooms, because there are some rooms that you'll find later that will have a hunter here in the corner. Usually in these rooms, this is where you'll find a chest, a larger coffin that you'll open up, a larger treasure chest that has something in it. So looks like there's nothing else here. So we'll make our way back to the boss gate and face this first boss. As you can see, the early levels of the Chalice dungeons are very simple, very easy. They're not hard at all. One thing that you'll want to pay attention to, enemies that you visceral attack, oftentimes you'll get lickers that will spawn excuse me, that will spawn in the areas where the visceral attack took place. So just be mindful of that. They can be pretty tough, even sometimes at the higher levels. Lower levels and at this soul level, I should have no problem getting through any of the bosses, unless I just make a mistake or my controller goes dead. I should be pretty good. So this first boss, the undead giant, you can be a pain in the butt, you know, with that jump, and you can also be even more of a pain later on. So 2 good hits. I got the adept. Oh man, I should have really waited to show you the gem that I got. On this character I have lots of gems, so I do apologize. I have to, it is an adept gem, and it is a really low level one, so I should have paid attention to what it was. But I have lots of gems on this character. You can see by the cursor as I'm moving around, it's not moving that much. But the whole point of the chalice dungeons, more so than anything else, is to get one to the trophy for the Yharnam Queen, Yharnam Pthumerian Queen. The other part of the chalice dungeon really is to pick up blood gems, some of the better blood gems in the game. So if you're interested in PvP, this may be a route that you take to get the better gems. Have a buddy of mine who's running through the chalices, and I'm trying to help him get through them, where he is a lower level character. I think he's level 25, and he's trying to make his way through to get some really good gems. You gotta watch. There is a panel that I just walked over. Let's do this. There's a panel that I walked over that, this panel here. In the chalice dungeon, you'll see several of these panels. Once you hit them, they either have trigger darts, fire arrows, or they will trigger a magic panel that will bring these guys out. And so you'll see they'll spawn these guys that are also magic enemies or whatever. So you'll see them, but also you'll see these chests or these coffins also will hold a guy that's just waiting in there for you to pass by. So just be mindful of that. We already saw where our boss gate was, so there it is. So we'll be making our way around to open that up. So let's quickly make our way over. I don't want to belabor anything in terms of taking too much time. Typically walk around here. So down here at the bottom there is a quicksilver bullets. I couldn't tell you the number of those because I have them. So what I'll do here in a minute is I will use up a couple of bullets just so that I can start picking stuff back up. So let me switch back over to my cannon. And it sounds like, actually, let me switch back over to my Gatling gun. So those guys walked up, so that tells me that there is a magic, a summoner somewhere down below me, and they will keep coming up here as long as I am in here, and they'll just keep running up those steps. So I'll make my way around to wherever that summoner is and take care of them. Another panther. Lower level, these guys around you like that can easily kind of one-shot you because they kind of converge on you all at once. And so when they do that, it is pretty sucky. That was just fortunate that they just happened to miss me. Alright, so opening this up. The thing I do want to apologize in advance is some of these chests that I may open up could contain actual weapons and items. Many of them at this point for me will contain ritual blood or a madman's knowledge. So any of the items that I pick up, and also this plate here in the middle of these rooms, while it doesn't have a panel, a push panel, it still will summon enemies in that same way or fashion that the button actually will. But again, to get back to my point, some of the chests that I open up, if it has madman's knowledge, it will then actually contain an item or weapon of some kind. I do apologize in advance. I don't feel like right now starting through a new character, but again, this is just a run for people who are trying to get through the chalice dungeons and get a sense of what is there, what is in these chalice dungeons, to run through them kind of as quickly as possible. I'm actually taking a little more time than I probably should, kind of explaining some of these things and going around so you can see where everything is. If you want to see everything in the chalice dungeon, this will be helpful. So those two guys are already dropped down. I just got hit in the back by somebody, so that tells me that there is a summoning guy somewhere around here. Let me take my hunter's torch back out. So these guys right here, they are tied to this panel, and shoot those arrows out, which can one-shot you at certain levels. Just be mindful when you see them always breaking, so I don't run into that crap. Running around this room, there's nothing else in this room, so there's really nothing else here to get or see. But I want to make sure I ran through there. So if you ran through this room and didn't see anything, or if you're just trying to avoid it, just avoid that room altogether, so that you have to worry about going through any of that stuff. So I'm gonna head back up here. come back this way. So I went that way before, so I'm gonna head back this way. If you didn't know, when you're playing the game, so those guys that were up there before they dropped down from here, but if you're, somebody's behind me, I'll worry about him later. So pick up another blood vial. If you're wondering about regaining, something that I kind of found out a little bit later in the game, but after you kill an enemy, you can still swing in the direction of their dead body, and you'll still regain a little bit of your health. So just something to keep in mind if you're thinking, oh man, I'm running through health, I'm running out. Make sure you regain some of that back. So those guys popped up, so that tells me that there is either another summoner in here somewhere, or they just got summoned right at the last minute, right when she was coming back around. Watch out for this fat rolling guy with a pain in the ass. And later chalice dungeons, when you're in the cursed fetid rotted, they can one-shot you. Your health is lower, the enemies hit harder, they're stronger, and there's poison kind of going around, so nothing else in here to really manage or worry about. So this place is good to go. So I'm going to put the torch away, and we'll head to the next boss, or head back to the boss gate. So shortcut, so I'm just going to drop down here. Don't have to worry about anything being down here because there's nothing else in here, and we killed everything. And head straight to the boss gate. Coming up on about 16 minutes. You can definitely get through these a lot faster if you just run to suicide run to the switch. And for those of you who don't like chalice dungeons, I recommend it as a tactic. There's nothing wrong with it. If there's nothing in the chalice dungeon that you want to get, then fine. That's always reasonable to do that. We don't have any issues anything, so these guys always do that. There's always 3 kills. They just take care of 2, 3. These enemies here, you're going to see these folks a lot if you are farming. Later in the game, one of the best dungeons, PWMF 22GU, is one of the important dungeons to remember, and one of the best dungeons to get physical damage gems, and you will fight those 3 guys for those gems. So you'll end up fighting those 3 merciless watchers quite a bit. So we're nearing the end of this dungeon, and the end of this run, or end of this video. So in the last level, player 3 is typically the last one that you'll find when you run these. And we are nearing the end here. So this is the last layer for the chalice dungeon. So as you see here, there's a NPC that we can summon. So I'm going to go ahead and summon this NPC just for the heck of it. Just summon Oleg. There is our boss gate, so we're going to make our way there. Take care of that guy. Usually in these places, I always look around because there's usually 2 paths to go. There's only 1 this time. So we'll head back this way. These things are at this level. They do drop later arcane haze. So you want to pay attention to that if you're looking for arcane haze and need it for any reason. Why do you have it? Okay, there you go. Missed that guy. So one of those called children of iniquity, I think. So there's the arcane haze. Get 3 of those. This guy. So I'm going to run around this bottom area to make sure we're getting everything. You hear that chime, so that means there's a bell maiden somewhere around here summoning. More than likely, she's on that top level. See that? Even at this level, stun lock. So I'm going to heal up. I'm going to make my way over here. There's stuff on. Be careful of the environment in this level. The trees can get you stuck up on them. You can think that, you know, you'd be able to dodge or dash right through them. You actually can't dash through some of those trees, and they look like you could. And I've gotten hung up on them enough times to know that I can't. So just be careful of that. This guy, haze. There should be one other item. So we got down here. So some cold blood dew, level 3. Give you a couple of blood echoes depending on the level. So there's another victory down here. Pick that up, tempering bloodstone. I see somebody walking around, so I'm gonna take care of this bag man. I aggroed him from up top. Make sure I protect the body. Bloodstone shard. Those guys are great for dropping bloodstone shards. So if you're trying to level up your first couple of weapons, depending on when you come to chalice, I would say a good place to challenge yourself coming into the chalice would probably be around level 40 or 50. They're not too tough once you get past that level. I think the recommended Ritual Blood 2 right there in the middle, so if you need those, make sure to pick that up. I think is recommended the chalices, the level, once you get past, once you get past level, I'm going to say, probably 70, you're probably going to have no issue whatsoever. Later, as you get to the fetid, cursed, rotten ones, it gets a little tougher. Alright, Ritual Blood 2. So you notice here we're picking up quite a few Ritual Bloods, so you're definitely going to need those. Make sure to pick those up. The items themselves in the Chalice dungeons makes it worthwhile if you're going to go through and do everything. I always recommend if you're going to do the Chalice dungeons and you want to make them a little better or a little easier to do them with a friend. Dungeons are always more fun with a friend, less monotonous that way. The thing that can be painful about it is the summoning, if it works. When the summoning works, it works really well. When it doesn't work, it sucks. Or it can suck really bad. So that witch gets in there. So most of the time she is rolling around on this level, and she must have come down from the top level. What's weird is that witch is a ghost, and she does take the stairs, the elevator to come, not the elevator, cold blood there. She takes the ladder to come down, so it's kind of weird sometimes. Take care of that guy. Quicksilver bullets. These rooms, I always look around them just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Whether that's an item or a chest, treasure chest. Alright, so hit that switch. You see here in that corner, one of those flame things. And see that switch? The switches all look a little different. You'll see there's one that are just raised. There's others that have like a little block on them. And then some of them actually just little panels, so you have to be careful of those. Looking around, there's nothing else in here. So now I'm going to head to the, back to the chalice. Make sure I set up quicksilver bullets. So I'm going to run back to, actually, no, I need to go back here and I need to go up this ladder to explore. Like I said, I'm going to go through every part to make sure that I'm covering everything for those people who do want to get everything in their runs through the chalice. And I always say it's to get to run through to see what else is there, just in case you need to come back and get an item or something. So, so blood vials at the end of this hallway. So if you don't care to come down here, it's a waste of time if you don't need the blood vials. If you do need them, that could be great to pick them up if you've been taking some damage. So heading back down and heading back to the boss gate. So we'll do that. And make sure I've explored everything up here. So I've gone this way. Taking care of all this stuff. Gotten those guys. I hadn't gone up there yet. So we'll make our way over there. So we'll come back down here. And there should be a entryway that I am missing, or it may be that once I clear the boss gate, open up the boss gate, it will open up an area. I'm just running around here because I do forget at times we're the way back, and I know this one was up under one of these paths. Also can follow the dead bodies, and there they are. So here's a switch. So hit that switch and take this up. Sucky thing about it is I don't think my NPC is going to make their way up here. So now we're on the top level. So just coming up here to get everything in the chalice again, just to make sure that you get a chance to see everything that's here so you don't feel like you've missed anything, but also if you're hunting for certain items that you can see where everything is. So I need to kill that guy. Oh, that guy there. So again, just making sure that I explore everything. See, I ran around the opposite direction, so there is nothing up here right now. Entryway. So again, summon these guys. Watch that. The guy with the who's throwing the oil, well, the flames, the Molotovs. He tends to throw sometimes two at a time. So he'll toss one and then backhand the second one. So we've got a chest here. Sorry, I went the wrong. Tomb mode 1, another ritual item. These stone walls here, I typically will hit these. Some people, in some of the challenges, people would have put up a message so you can see that there's invisible walls here. Most of the time, this is kind of where some of those invisible walls are, so I just kind of run around and tap these things just to make sure I'm not missing anything. So we head back this way, ladder, back down, and I believe this may be the room where our ghost friend was, and that was indeed. So could have gone back up that way to get it, so got that. That's all good. Got that. So we're just gonna head back to the boss gate, which is back this way. Down here, Oleg is hanging out. So we're gonna head back down. And then clear this dungeon. Alright, so back up. Top ourselves off, just for the hell of it. Don't really need to, but oh well. Alright, so back here. And so we have a side room. That's your treasure room, so we're gonna head in here, up the ladder. And again, I hope this is a comprehensive video for you as you're trying to get through the chalices. Watch that guy standing there like a butler, but not exactly to open the door for you, but smack in the face. Alright, so took care of both of those folks. No one else around. Make sure to pick up ritual blood. Running through. And snack. Bold hunter's mark there. Molotov cocktail, 2 of those. Quicksilver bullets. Snack. Tomb mode, 3 of those. Great. Alright, nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. And again, I'm smacking all these because if I go through it, you won't have to. Alright, so This room is cleared. Head over to the next area. So the structure of this room already tells me that there's probably a drop-off somewhere, because they're pretty standard. So this would be where these guys drop off at. There's your drop-off. Usually these drop-offs end up landing near an enemy of some kind, but I don't see any down there. But we're not going to worry about that. We're going to look around, make sure we don't miss anything, nothing else here. Make our way over to the door. Open this bad boy up. Blood vial +3. Running down. Smack. Blood vial. And this would contain an item. Or crucial blood 2. We'll take that. And again, a lot of these side paths are really about the weapons. If you want other weapons, the weapons themselves aren't different. The damage on them is all the same. It's a matter of which blood gems you want to place on the weapons that matter. If you have a loadout that you prefer in terms of blood gems, more magic or more arcane, or arcane and magic are one and the same. Or watch that. Sorry, Oleg. Magic and arcane are one and the same. Or if you want fight, strength or something else, that really is what you're fighting towards with regards to the items on the different type of weapons that you can get out of the chalices. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. So now we're heading back to our boss gate. And wrong way. Oops, no, right way, excuse me. So we're back down in here. Oleg is making his way over. And coming up on our boss. This boss, I'm not going to kill it right off. I'm actually going to switch weapons. Just to give you an idea, a sense of what the attack pattern is. You've probably seen this guy before. So this guy, usually when you get in the arena, he does a charge right away. So see that charge, do that charge. Once he does that charge, then there's a couple of ways to do that. Swipe to the left, swipe to the right, swipe to the left again, and then later in his third phase, he starts to do like a forward. When you get too close, he starts doing that, spamming that attack. What I typically will do is I'll let him swipe. Right, so I'll let him up. So he's about to vomit, go up. Once he does that, unlock, start smacking him in the back of the legs. I'm only going to hit him twice so you can kind of see what that looks like. If that fire damage, it does do splash damage on him, so be careful. I got caught with it twice. He does that bark. See if I can get it to charge. Left to right, doesn't matter. Alright, so he's all over right now. His attention over here. So that hurt him. That's doing damage. Face. All over. That swipe. That. One more forward. Makes it really easy if you have that hunter in here. Right now it looks like Oleg has a lot of aggro. I'm not even have to worry about attacking him. So that is your first Pthumerian Chalice in its entirety. All of the items showed you where everything is, and that's pretty much it. Once you get done, you should get this lamp. That's the end of that chalice. If you run through the chalice without clearing all the items and get everything, you can just run through the bosses, hit the switches, go to them, kill them, and then you can always make your way back through. Once you get back to the Hunter's Dream after lighting this, you'll see that the dungeon is still there. And the important thing is to make sure that you light all the lamps as you're heading up. If you're going through on a higher level character and want to go back, it just makes it easier to kind of keep track of where you want to go if you need it to go back to a level or a layer. But yeah, pretty much that's the first Pthumerian Chalice. Like I said, the chalice is still here. All the layers, all the lamps that I touched on my way down. And that is pretty much it. One thing that I typically do after I've completed them and this is just to remember which ones you've done. You can either leave them and do them in order as you're going up. Likewise, if you're playing co-op with a friend and you don't want to make the chalice dungeon, do a quick co-op search. Just make sure you have the same password in, and then you can ring from the beacon, ring from here, and it will search for your friend's code. If you have issues getting into their chalice dungeon, I say give it like 2 to 5 minutes. If you can't connect to them right away, my suggestion is to ask your friend to reset their PlayStation, not their PlayStation, reset their game. So exit out the game, go here, exit out the game, close it out, close the application, and then after you close the application, then restart the game. After you restart the game, try to reconnect to them. Sometimes you have to change the password, do that, and then you should be able to get back into, you should be able to do that and get right to their game. Other than that, that is the first of the Chalice dungeon runs. Hope this was helpful and informative, and gives you a cool path on your way to that trophy. So other than that, I'll holler at you later.